Hello there. This is James, and you're watching OneRoyal, and it's live. In today's program, I want to talk about the latest developments regarding this global trade war. As well as that, Fed learns a new word, plus, again, we have the debate about actual data versus survey data. But before we get into all of that, don't forget, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever shall be taken as financial advice. I always suggest you do your own research, do your due diligence, and of course, there are the risks at hand for entering any trade. With that out the way, let's get started. So, let's cast our minds back over the last couple of two trading sessions. The market was a little bit calm. The market was feeling a little bit happier. Why? Because, there was discussions and there was hopes that Trump was going to be a little bit more lenient in reference to his tariffs come April the 2nd. It was all quiet on the trading front until yesterday. Trump announced 25% tariffs on all foreign-made vehicles and auto parts. 25% tariffs on all foreign-made vehicles and auto parts. This is what he had to say. This will continue to spur growth that you've never seen before. Now, these tariffs will take effect around the April 2nd, April the 3rd. And not everybody sees it that way, obviously. Now, the German economy minister, he said this will ultimately harm US and the EU and the global trade as a whole. He also went on to say, it is now crucial that the EU delivers a decisive response to the tariffs. It must be clear that we will not back down in the face of the US. Strength is required, or are required, and self-confidence is required. So, and here's the thing. This 25% tariffs on automobiles, all foreign automobiles and auto parts, has deeply upset the market once again. And it's not just foreign automobiles, and we'll look at them in a minute. Okay, it's not just foreign. Because when you think of foreign cars, you're thinking, and the countries which are going to get affected the most by this are the likes of Canada, Mexico, Japan, South Korea, and Germany, obviously. BMW, Mercedes, Volkswagen, Porsche, depending, where you're from. But it's not just these companies being affected today. American companies, Ford, General Motors, and again, I'll pull up the market in a minute. They've all come under pressure because of this. Because it's going to affect them. It's going to affect supply deliveries or deliveries of supplies and important components for cars. It's going to affect that as well. So they've come under pressure. So all that sort of feeling at the beginning of the week when we felt all felt a little bit better, and we thought he was going to be lenient, and we had a sort of happy, fuzzy feeling in our belly, has slowly sort of disappeared all in one day because of this. And here's the worrying thing. in many ways, Trump is just getting warmed up, because this is what he also had to say today. The European Union works with Canada in order to do economic harm to the USA. Large-scale tariffs, far larger than currently planned, will be placed on them. And like I've said, I'm going to bring them up in a minute. Like I've said, car manufacturers across the globe have come under pressure. Across the globe. And the market, who was having a good couple of days, is also come under pressure. But anyway, let's have a quick, let's pull up the charts and have a quick look at how the market stands currently at the moment. Let's start off the S&P, okay? Like I said, we had on the back, so don't forget this announcement happened yesterday, okay? It's managed to bounce on, it's on a short term of 30 minutes. It managed to get a bit of support on that 200-day moving average so far in the session. It's currently trading at, it's on daily chart, sorry. Currently trading at 5,727 points. As you can see, when those comments were made yesterday, it affected the market a lot. The NASDAQ is the same, okay? Managed a slight recovery so far for the trading session, but I really want us to look at two of the car companies this is affected. Let's start off with General Motors. Look at that gap. It opened with a lower at a massive gap. It closed yesterday around $50. It currently opened around $46. So it's a big, big gap. And like I say, it's General Motors. They're an American company. And if you look at BMW, the same. BMW is also under pressure. But you could also see that with, you know, with indices in Europe as well. They've come under slight pressure because of the back of this. Again, it's to spook the market. Tesla, though, interesting enough, has had a slight, you know, bit of a boost. Obviously, it's an American car company, makes a lot of cars in the United States as well. And the other thing about it as well, Musk did come out to say that these tariffs is going to affect Tesla as well. So they're not immune to this whatsoever. So that's quite interesting to see how that developed. I want to move on to another story. And that is the Fed has learned a new word, or has a new favorite word, really. And that word is uncertainty. Uncertainty. Now, the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, when he spoke on the March the 19th, when they decided to keep rates, or interest rates as they were, as they are, on March 19th, he said the word uncertainty 22 times. 22 times. He said, back on March 19th, uncertainty is remarkably high. It's not just him. New York Fed president used the word 12 times while delivering a speech titled Certain Uncertainty. Fed Governor Adriana Kugler said, heightened level of uncertainty. And they've all said that this uncertainty is being driven by Trump's tariffs. Now, why is this important? Because what central banks tend to do, okay, they tend to try and do a bit of forward guidance or try and tell people certain things. And one of the things they tend to do is their vocabulary. Because don't forget, we're always looking for whenever they speak, if they're going to be hawkish or dovish. We're always looking out for that. And they always tend to adopt certain phrases or certain words, okay, to give us forward guidance. And then we start picking up on it and understanding it. The reason why us knowing why them using the word uncertainty is important, because this indicates to us or gives us an idea or keeps us trying to guess when the Fed may cut rates. If they carry on using the word uncertainty, that sort of gives us an indication that they're not going to be in a rush to cut rates. And like I say, they always try and choose a certain word, which is what we listen to, if they're going to be dovish or hawkish. This new word of uncertainty is really important for us to keep an ear out, because this will give us an indication if and when they may cut interest rates. Because don't forget, the market is sort of anticipating or expecting them to cut interest rates 2 times this year. Now, with all this uncertainty, will we even get 1 rate cut this year? Because don't forget, they are also worried about inflation and the impact on inflation it's going to have. Even though inflation, the previous reading was lower than anticipated. It's not just the Fed, though. It's not just the Fed. Companies are beginning to use the word uncertainty to describe their current predicament as well. So that is the word, for us to keep an ear out and be mindful. Not just the word tariffs, which we've been hearing a lot. Again, I want to talk about something else as well, which leads us into some data today. Don't forget, we did a broadcast last week where I discussed with you good people whether or not what's more important, the actual data or survey. What is the most important? Okay, now I brought this up is because US GDP today, which has been a big thing in the back of the mind of the market. Are we bordering on a US recession? US GDP today was announced at 2.4% versus 2.3% expected, so better than anticipated. However, so that's data. However, consumer confidence survey was announced on Tuesday at the lowest level since 2021. So again, like I say, we need to look at the survey or the actual data itself. Don't forget the data is lagging. Survey indicates potentially what people are thinking now, which will then impact the market potentially later. So again, that whole argument there, I mean, let's face it, it's very uncertain, isn't it? Anyway, let's have a quick look at some other things. I want to look at gold again. I've always looked at gold. Those people who know me now, I'm a gold bug. I can't help it. It's my first love. So let's bring up my gold chart. As you can see, again, this is driven. Don't forget, it's been quite tepid over the last couple of trading sessions. We've had a little bit, obviously, a bit of profit taking, which is understandable. Still maintaining its direction above that potential uptrend trend line, which I think is a key area of interest. Again, all because of this 25% tariffs on automobiles. Once again, we see a slight rush to safety, coming close again to an all-time high. In fact, it might have just slightly touched it today. Currently trading at $3,054 an ounce, and I think it did just slightly touch a new all-time high around $3,062. But yeah, again, gold is still riding high and all this uncertainty. You can also see that too with the euro in general. You can see a slightly stronger dollar against the euro. Obviously, it's slightly more gains today, but it's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of losses due to the greenback. And the sterling is bounced up a little bit today, mainly because of some of the things said by the new Chancellor of the Exchequer, who are looking to, again, basically play down the trade war with the US. They're trying to negotiate. Because don't forget, though the UK do import cars to the United States, it's not a major part of their economy. Okay, I think the UK only makes about $6 billion from car imports or car exports to the United States. So it's not a major part of the infrastructure. Many financial services and service industries is for the UK. But anyway, they were talking about that, giving the cable a bit of a boost. trading at 129.685 there as we speak. Talking about economic data and talking about the UK as well. The main economic data left for this week is indeed the UK GDP. Expectation is for it to come in at 0.1% versus 0.1% previous, the same, basically, as the previous reading. Interesting enough, though, on a side note as well, which is going to be quite interesting to look at, especially keeping an eye on where the cable or the British pound dollar is trading. Economic forecast for the UK for 2025 was indeed downgraded to 1% versus 2% previous. So that's interesting to watch. Anyway, don't forget, this is indeed a live show. And you can talk to me anytime you wish or ask me questions or let me know what you think. What do you think about the latest Trump tariffs on automobiles? Is the market just getting spooked again? Is it potentially another, deal-making tactic? Or is this for real? Let me know what you think. Or you can simply say hi, if you like. You can simply say hello, if you want. And don't forget, if you're watching me on YouTube and you say you're watching the recording, because quite a few people I've noticed watch the recording. They often watch the live. They watch the recording afterwards, maybe late at night, with a warm cup of cocoa or something. If you have a question or you have a comment, by all means, put it in the comments below. I will see them, and I will answer it and reply to it next time I go live on air, which is every day. Every day. Well, the days I might occasionally have a day off, or that's the only reason. But other than that, every day. And of course, obviously, if you're watching me on YouTube and you like this sort of thing, by all means, subscribe if you like. Hit the notification button so you know next time I'm going live. If you like this type of content and you put up with me, give me one of these. It's nice to know that you like what I do. And if you're watching me on Twitter, give me one of these. It's nice to know that you like what I do. Anywho, if there is no questions or no comments, not a problem. Not a problem. So anyway, that leaves me to say, till the next time. Don't forget, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should they be taken as financial advice. I always suggest you do your own research, do your own due diligence, and of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. Till next time, every single one of you, trade safe.